Shalom. Before I start, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Ruach Kudash. Double honors to my teachers, the apostles, and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well and teach well. And also shalom and salutations to the brothers that are out there laboring in this work as well. All right, so this lesson that I'm going to be getting into today, I'm the brother Shaquat from the Great Millstone, Montreal. And this lesson that I'm going to be getting into today is going to be going into being content. And it takes faith to be content. All right. All right. So I'm just going to jump straight into it and begin here in the book of Hebrews, chapter 11 and verse 24. It says, by faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. You see, and Moses is one of our forefathers, man. One of the forefathers of the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans. And yes, Moses was a dark-skinned man. You see, but as we all know the story of Moses, how he was um, brought up by Pharaoh's daughter, right? He was in um, what you would call luxury. He was luxury living as a child, because he was brought up as one of Pharaoh's sons. You see, or yeah, you see. So he was brought up as one of Pharaoh's relatives, man. And that the Pharaoh was rich, so Moses had access to a lot of things in his youth. He was taught particular things. He had access to tutors, handmaid servants, you see, and most likely extracurricular activities, man, because these are all things that come with being this a relative or a son of a ruler, and in this case would be Pharaoh. You see, but Moses refused all of that, at a particular age when he came to years, right? Verse 25, it says, choosing rather to suffer um affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. So what Moses did was he casted away all the benefits that came with being called the son of Pharaoh. He threw that away, man. You know, and he chose rather to go through affliction with the people of the Most High, which were the Hebrew Israelites at that time, than to enjoy those pleasures for a season, man. Than to enjoy the riches and the pleasures of Pharaoh that came with Pharaoh for a season. You see? All right. Verse 26. And how does this tie into the lesson that I'm going into, or I'm going into? Because Moses was content once he understood what the mission was, man. Once he understood, or once he was enlightened to the fact that, you know, the sufferings of Yahweh Shai will be far greater than the riches of Pharaoh, man. And how do we parallel that to today? You see, with Esau Edom, because Esau Edom is the modern day Pharaoh. He's the one that's ruling right now. He's the one that has the world in his hands, man. You know, so everything is under the hands of Esau. You see, all these riches, the golds, and you name it, cars, and they're all under Esau. Through the spiritual demon Satan, man, because Satan uses Esau Edom as his physical counterpart, man. So Esau Edom, the so-called white man, he's the modern day Pharaoh. You see what I'm saying? So this is his world. So brothers are giving up, just like Moses, giving up making it, or trying to get in a high position in this world, and to pursue Yahweh Shai. So brothers are giving up this world, the pleasures of this world, You see, because it's for a season, and choosing the affliction of Yahweh Shai over it, man. Which that's being content, because it brings comfort and satisfaction knowing that this is not the end all be all. Just like Moses, right? He was satisfied once he was enlightened to the fact that there's more, better riches than what Pharaoh has to offer. And Yahweh Shai has that. So you would be willing to go through whatever, you see? You would be willing to go through whatever to even if it's suffering for a season, for a moment, because that's more valuable, than what the present world has to offer, man. You see? Um, verse 26, it says, esteeming the reproach of Yahweh Shai greater riches than the treasures in Egypt, for he had respect unto the recompense of the reward, man. So there's Yahweh Shai has greater riches. You see? So in this lifetime today, you know, how we be content is being satisfied with the state or the what the what's the word I'm looking for? The level, you know, the state that we're in, man. The state that that to do the state. You see, because we don't, most men of the Lord don't have too much or too little. They're just getting by, man. And that's enough. Being a man of Yahweh Shemashai, that's all you need, really. Because your goal is not to make it in this world. Your goal is not to become a billionaire. Your goal is not to become a millionaire, but just to have enough. Well, you also have brothers that are doing well, that are doing well. But that's not they're not putting their trust in those uncertain riches, man. In the uncertain riches of this world. Like the scriptures say, right? But the brothers are content. They understand the mission. They understand that all of these things could disappear. They're gonna be done away with, man. You know, just like Salakia, just like Moses or Pharaoh, he understood that that time was just a season. You know, verse. Let me go from there. Salakia. First Timothy 6 and verse 6. It says, "But godliness with contentment is great gain." All right. So I'm gonna look up that word contentment. It says a perfect condition of life in which no aid or support is needed, sufficiency of the necessities of life. So oh, let's look up that word necessities. See what it says. Necessities is your basic needs, man. Your basic needs, basically. So things like scriptures speak about that, man. Having food and raiment, all right, right. Having food and raiment, right? So you have these daily necessities like food and clothing and a house, a roof, a condo, apartment, or whatever, man. You have that, but you're not looking for a certain amount of acres to own, to own a land, an island, or something, man. You know, so that's being content, being satisfied with the necessities of life. Things that you need to get by, understanding that um your glory is in the world to come. You see, Salakia. Uh, right? Oh yeah. So wow, that's the next verse. I mean, the next two verses. Verse 7 it says, "For we brought nothing into this world, and it is certain we can carry nothing out." You see, and that's also another reason to be content is that you came into the world with nothing, and you're gonna leave with nothing, man. Like those quotes in the world, those social media quotes, which they're on point because it's true. Because you came into the world with nothing, and you're gonna leave with nothing, man. Because what's in the planet Earth is tangible. These things are tangible. You see, but what we're fighting for, or what we're looking for, what we have our eyes on, are things that are not corruptible, spiritual things, man. Oh, scripture speak about lay up your treasures in heaven, you know. So our treasure is different, man. It's not gonna be able to be corrupted. It's not gonna worn out, it doesn't have an expiry date to it. So that's worth suffering for a season and receiving that kind of reward, man, that kind of recompense. That's worth being content in this world. If you're gonna get a reward that vast, man, for something so, you know, you know. Oh, scriptures also speak about that you're gonna be rewarded. Your reward is gonna you're gonna be paid more than for your work, man. Roughly paraphrasing, the payment is gonna be way bigger than what you were supposed to be paid for a small work. A small work and a great payment. You see, verse 8, and it says, "And having food and raiment, let us be therewith content." Let me look up that word content in the blue letter and see what it says. Content. It says to be possessed of unfailing strength, to be strong, to suffice, to be enough, to have enough, right? Content is to have enough, not too much, not too little. Because if you have too much, then you can get what? You can get distracted when you have too much. And if you have too little, it's gonna cause you to do particular things that are um you know that are evil, man. That's going off. Like you might start robbing. Scripture speak. Matter of fact, let me see. Scriptures. There's a precept on that in the book of Proverbs. This is Proverbs 30. Proverbs 30 and verse 8. Matter of fact, verse 7. It says, "Two things I have required of thee, deny me them not before I die. Remove far from me vanity and lies. Give me neither poverty nor riches." So, this is King Solomon, right? King Solomon wrote the Proverbs, and he said, give him neither. He's talking to the Most High, give him neither poverty, meaning be poor, or riches. So he doesn't want to be poor, or he doesn't want to be super rich. He wants to be what? Content. He wants to be in between that, man. Why? He's gonna go into it. It says, "Feed me with food convenient for me." So basically, give me the basic necessities, man, of life. That's what he's asking for. It says, "Least I be full and deny thee." So being full is having abundance amount of riches, right? So if you have a lot of riches, you're full, and you're not gonna be worried about, you know, Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai when you have a lot of money, man. And you're good, because you're gonna think that your strength is gonna deliver you. Everything you do, you have the money. You put your trust in money now, man, instead of Yahweh Bashim Shai. That's if you become super rich. That's why Yahweh Shai said, it is hard for a camel to go through the eye of a needle, man, and for a rich man to enter into the kingdom. It's the same. Because what did Yahweh Shai mean by that? For a camel to go through the eye of a needle, because you have a misconception out there, you know, that teach that the eye of a needle is talking about an actual needle, a camel, like a syringe, but that's not it, man. That's talking about in the ancient world, when you get the right understanding, in the ancient world, you had two doors at the gates. You had a bigger door and a smaller door. And the smaller door was for the people to go in and out of the city, man. And the bigger door was for bigger animals, bigger transportations being imported and exported by what? By these different animals, like camels, which is one of them, or uh, elephants, or whatever was used to be as transportation, man. That's a bigger transportation. So you had two doors. You had the bigger door and a smaller door. The smaller door for the people, and the bigger door for the animals, for the bigger animals, right? So that's what it's speaking about when it's talking about the eye of the needle. The eye of the needle is that smaller door where smaller or where people go through. So the Lord was comparing a camel going through that smaller door where people go instead of that bigger door. That's what it means by that eye of a needle. Because that smaller door is hard for a camel to fit through that door, carrying a lot of load, symbolic to a rich man with a lot of riches. You see? Because it's gonna be hard for a rich man to take off all those loads, to basically drop everything, all his riches, and leave them behind and enter through that door, just like a camel. It's possible, but it's hard with pride and money. That's gonna be hard for a rich man to do. You see what I'm saying? To leave that money and live like a regular person after being accustomed to living a particular way. So that's what Yahushua was comparing that to. But King Solomon here is saying, give me neither poverty nor riches. He doesn't want to be poor. He doesn't want to be super rich. Verse 9, it says, least I be full and deny thee, and say, who is the Lord Yahweh? Or at least I be poor and steal, and take the name of my power in vain. So you don't want to have neither. You don't want to be super poor or super rich. You just want to be content, have enough in the middle. And that's balance right there. You know? Because let's get it. Let me see if I finish on this one right quick. First Timothy. Okay, I'm gonna finish First Timothy 6 and verse 8, and it says, "Having food and raiment, let us be therewith content. But they, it says, but they that will be rich fall into temptation and a snare, and into many foolish and hurtful lusts, which drawn men into destruction and perdition, man." So if you have too much, man, you know that could destroy you. There's certain people are not good with money, or not that they're not good with money. It's just when they have money, man, yo, you know, they'll act a different way, man, with that money. I'm not talking about personalities, but they would, there's particular people that would do things that they would normally not do. It will cloud your judgment, man, your vision. you know, you might excess on particular things without even realizing it, man. That's particular. So that's why King Solomon said it's better to just be in the middle, man, not just to have enough to get by until Yahweh Shai comes and brings that eternal glory and riches, man. You know? All right, so let's go from there to the book of Philippians 4 and verse 11. It says, "Not that I speak in respect of want, for I have learned in whatsoever state I am in, therewith to be content." And when you're in the truth, when you come into the truth, you're going to be put in different states, you know? You're going to be put in different positions, man, different situations. But Yahushua also spoke about being wise as serpents and harmless as doves. The reason why Yahushua mentioned to be wise as a serpent, he used that animal because that serpent is able to adapt in particular situations, man. So whatever state you're in, you have to be able to adapt. You see, because in the truth, you're gonna have to learn that, man. You know, me, I'm still learning it. I didn't learn it. I'm not even. I'm still learning it, man. You know, learning how to adapt and you know, learning how to adapt, man. You see, in whatever state, whatever position or whatever thing I'm put on, you know, I have to learn how to adapt more and more, man. You see, because you're gonna be put through roller coasters, man, and then reading on, it says, verse 4. I know both how to be abased and I know how to abound. So this is Paul saying what? He knows how to have a lot, but he also knows how to have a little, how to handle when I have a lot, and how to handle when I have a little, man. And that's what puts you on a level. If you are able to 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 identify that what state you're in, and then adapt right away. That's that's how you know you're on the level, man. That's a good spirit to be in, man. You know, to identify and then uh, to identify the situation and then act on it, man, right away. Instinct, right? So if you're a base, you know how to handle being a base. Not not to throw a tantrum and start crying out. Man, I'm through it. Nah, man. You just take it to the chin. You know. And also, if you have a lot, you know not to act a particular way, but to keep it humble. It says, everywhere and in all things I am instructed both to be full and to be hungry, both to abound and to suffer need. So there's going to be times where you're going to have a lot to eat and not even have a lot to eat, to be full and hungry. But you got to be able to adapt. Verse 13, it says, I can do all things through Hamashiach Yahweh Shai, which strengtheneth me. So you being able to adapt and go through these situations is all through Yahweh Shai. It's through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. That's the only way you could do it. You know. So with that, I hope this lesson was edifying. I want to say Call Halayim La Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Ruach Kodash. Once again, double honors to my teachers, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Until next time, Shalom.